Hello, good afternoon, Edsy. Suzuki Burgman, 650 Executive. Don't forget that. This is Edsy Restorations. Welcome along to a very, very needed front brake service. I was going to leave this to the summer, but yeah, the front brake keeps locking on, and for good reason. These are the old pads. Wear line barely visible there. And sort of gone there, so they're and look at the state of them too. Really not happy at all. And as for the slider, this piece, which is bolted to the fork, this piece slides, well, the caliper slides in and out on this bracket. That is solid, so that needs re-greasing, and the pots need to come out. I need to put all the new seals in. I have the kit somewhere. Let's go find it. The trouble is, sorry. Yeah, good tune. Thing is, I have all the gear, but I am hindered slightly, somewhat. And by that I mean I am hindered. Yes, I have got either trigger finger or tendinitis in my middle finger. No, this isn't a joke. It looks funny, but seriously, guys, it is so flipping painful. Those of you that suffer with arthritis or, you know, tendinitis, or you had it, it's not nice. I've been suffering it now for about a week, and it's mid-afternoon, and it's only just started to I'm only just being able to move it slightly. Getting my gloves on was a bit of a giggle. Yeah, by God, that's painful. Anyway, I think it's first thing in the morning, when I've been asleep, first thing in the morning, it is rock solid, and you touch it, it just kills. It is absolute flipping agony. I've got an appointment to see the doctor in 2 days, so can't wait for that. But if it is tendinitis or something other than tendinitis, it's not arthritis, because it's the only finger joint pain that I have. So that would be replicated on the other hand as well, probably, and other things. So basically, getting back to the burger, I need to do front brakes if I'm to get to work at all, even if I can get my flipping gloves on in the morning. But yeah, so sympathies go out to you guys if you've had this, or you have it now, or you're suffering, or you have suffered. Jesus, it is so debilitating. You know, even the slightest little thing, like trying to tidy yourself up after the loo. If you're that handed, you're knackered, aren't you? It's almost funny. But yeah, I don't need this right now, you know. Kind of think, right, I'm going to crack on. Let's go and have a look. There's that kit, look. Beautiful as it is, so that's going in very, very shortly. Now, I've left one caliper on the other side, because how I pop the pots out here is I literally pull the front brake, and those pots should come out. Alright, so that's the next job. Two 12mm bolts holding it in. I've taken out the ABS sensor, two 8mm bolts, whoop, and a bit of a tap. I've got my brake cable, brake hose clamp there. You just clamp it up, so when you undo that and take it off, you're not going to get brake fluid draining all over the floor, which I have absorbent pads, just in case they do. It does. So, right, let me crack on with this. I wasn't going to do any video because it's hard to video with my hand being like it is. It's very difficult doing anything with my hand being like it is, but what do? I have no transport to get to work, so this has to be done. Right, okay, right, bear with. Right, there we go. I have managed to pull the lever. I put that in there first because I didn't want one pot to come out, which it did. This one stayed in. I didn't want one pot to pop out and then completely, because then you'd have no pressure to get this one out. So I've put that in there to equalise, and they're out so far. So I am now just going to continue to pump on the front brake, and that one's nearly popping. A bit more. Right, that's almost there, so I'm going to take that out of there and somehow try and hold that one in whilst pulling the lever. And now the other one's going. Okay, so screwdriver. I'll put a screwdriver in there. Look, and watch the other one move now. See that? Look. Quality controls here. Right, quality. Well, these look like stainless pots anyway, so no, they don't. Tell a lie, forget that last thing. Oops. Right, we have leaking. We've had lots of leaking, so let's whack that clamp in place, like so. Right, that should stop flowage going on. Okay, there's the pot. Yeah, it's not looking brilliant, is it? Okay, see if I can wiggle that one out. Yes, I can. Maybe some more leakage there. Right, what I've got on the floor again is these absorbent pads. These white things, they are absolutely flipping brilliant. They just look like pieces of A4 paper, but they're... Yeah, that's... I'm going to... No, I'm not. You know me, I'll clean them up. Oh, no, I won't. Okay, I have all the seals in that bag there ready to go. I have the pots down there. What I'm going to do now, because this is in such a state, I need to get this in the workshop, in the paraffin bath. I need to crack this 20mm 12mm bolt, get that off of there. Nothing should come out because we've got the clamp on, and we can go and do some cleaning of all this and the holder, because I have all new seals and boots and all the rest of it to go in, but I want it nice and clean before I do so. Yeah, protect your wheels and things with whatever from this nasty brake fluid, because it can take paint off, or it will take paint off. Right, let's crack that off now and get it in the workshop. Alright, y'all. To save you going through the pain of watching me clean all this in there with the missus's toothbrush. Done it already. Magic of camera trickery. Right, okay, so let's have a look at the slidey bar. There you go. Like I say, this part fixes to the bike, there and there. They fix onto the lower fork, and that pin slides in there when there's a boot, pretty much sort of like that kind of thing. Basically you should go like that, you see. Okay, and as you can see that those parts are proper good. Right, spondicious, isn't it? So I've cleaned all that up. The bores now, the bores. You need to get your dentist toothpick out, because, ouch, my finger, you really need to get in all the little nooks and crannies. Excuse the shaking. I thought that was clean before I started with the toothpick, and when I started going like this, all that horrible flaky talcum powdery corrosion, alloy corrosion, just furred the whole thing up. So I had to go back into the paraffin bin again. Ow. So there we go, there's that, that's all nicely done. Now the thing is, when that crusty stuff starts building up, it starts to push the seal out of that channel. Can you see that channel on there? Of course, as the seal gets pushed in, it puts the brakes on the cylinder. So it slows the cylinder's operation down, so the other one starts working faster, or whichever. And then eventually the salt and that get onto, as you saw, onto the pots. Ow, you bloody idiot. And that's it. So, oh shit, let's crack on. We need to get this back together now. I have given this a thorough dry. I know paraffin's an oil and brake fluid is an oil, but at the end of the day, I give it a good blow job with the blower, and I give it a bit of a finger blasting with that. Right, without further ado, we need to get all the seals back in here, and the boots and things back in there. The kit comprised of that times 2. Okay, so I have got that piece separate, and I've got the other half here ready to go back in. It's always nice to have a nice, really clean surface, as you can see, not there. So we have 2 big seals which go in the back of the pot, or near the back of the pot, and the 2 dust seals which go in near the front of the pot, so that's good. We have the boot there which goes onto the slidey. Now as you can see, it has a lip on it, and there is a recess in there for it to into. What I like to do before I do that is to pop a little bit of grease in there and then put the cap on. It's just par for the course. You must have grease on this pin and on that pin. You just must have it. My hand's constantly like this now. It's good, isn't it? Advice I've had is to strap the not so good finger to a good finger and just strap it together so it sort of moves in conjunction with that. But tendonitis, if it is that, it's trying to pull a golf ball through a hose pipe sort of thing with a tendon. It's something a bit special like that. I don't know. Okay, so let's crack on. Let's first of all put the bleed nipple bolt on there. We'll put that now. We'll just do that. No, you idiot, that's not the bleed nipple. That's the brake fluid journal Union City Blues. Where is me 8mm gone? Stop looking, everybody, stop looking. Just want to nip that up just a tiny bit. There you go. So pop the new seal on there like so. Right, the two coppery bits that go either side of the Union there, that's ready to, I'll do that outside. Okay, seals. Let's get some brake fluid. .4 they specify. So I'm literally going to give it a bit of a fingering in the bores, because that's what's going to be in there anyway, isn't it? So if we pre-lube that up. Oh baby. Sometimes, I mean, people put these little seals into a little tiny, you know, like an egg cup full of brake fluid and just let them sit in there and soak. I can't be asked, to be honest. Let's put it in some sort of receptacle. In the receptacle by your side. Can't find a receptacle. Okay, not to worry. Okay, let's just pop these in. This is tricky with two good hands. But when you got a spazzy finger, not brilliant. I can tell you. Uh-oh, here comes Hop Along. I can hear you. Hello. Hello. You alright? Yeah, you're suffering too. That went in easy, missus. The seal good, went in easy. Good. The seal. Good. Yeah, nothing other than the seal. Yeah, Jagenhofen. Oh, I saw a good couple of films recently. Yeah, we did, didn't we? The Pianist. Pianist. Yes. I think it was 2002. That film, I didn't see it the first time round. I'm just going back through into my Second World War phase of history. And yeah, The Pianist. If you've not watched it, have a look at that. And a very recent film. Ow, my freaking finger. Got to be done. Is Look Who's Back. If you've seen Look Who's Back, what do you think of it? Drop me a comment below. If you've not seen Look Who's Back, what are you waiting for? Yeah. Proper good.
What was that, 2017?
Something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I can't do this. Is just going to take me forever because I'm spazzy. Right, I'm going to leave you there. It's alright. I've got to do lots of greasy things and popping things in and out of holes and whatnot. I mean, that has to go through there and it sits in there, but it needs to be lubed up. But I can't really do anything with that hand, so you can give me a hand and say, right, guys, catch you in a bit when this is ready to go back on the bike. Thank you, camera lady. Right, well done, Kaz. She has given me a hand, literally. And we've had the copper slip grease with a old cotton bud, and she's gone round it while I've gone round in there, just to give that a nice surface tension coat there of copper slip grease to help that lubricate this pin. And I've done the same. Well, she did that first time. You know, I normally struggle with it. No grease, no oil, no safety net. She got it in. Pop. She's going to have to take top place, isn't she, here? Anyway, that's in. Gone round again with a copper grease. All 4 seals are in. Nicey. I've just got to stick my finger in, give it a bit of a finger blast in there with the old brake fluid. And we are pretty much ready to go back on the bike. It's all good. Well, actually, quite no, because we need to put the pots in, don't we? Okay, well, I've given it a bit of a blasting. So, hello, my darling.
Hello.
Thank you for your assistance. Thank you.
Do you want me to pull the door together?
No, it's all right. Lets the smell out, yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Right. I have 2 fingers that work on this hand. Right, let's give that a bit of a daub. And hopefully that should slide in the hole thus, without too much fighting. Oh, that went right in proper quick, didn't it? That felt good, actually. Now, I'm guessing that these aren't the original calipers, not for a 11-year-old bike commuter. Just guessing, I don't know, I'm just guessing. But the paint is really good on it. There are a few parts of corrosion, and in the summer I will have these back off, and I will cover up the areas with materials so that the corrosion doesn't get back in there, because at the moment there's no point in trying to spray anything on there in this weather, because it's just going to fur up, isn't it? So, finger in your pot. Ow! Where's Caroline gone? She could do this. Slide your piston in through there. Get it sort of, just jimmy it around a little tiny bit. Just a bit of pressure, not a lot. And then when you're in, doop, where are we? Doop, doop. There you go, beautiful. Gone straight in there. Lovely job. And the reason I've pushed them right back in is because when you put the hose back on and then take that clamp off the hose, fluid goes in. It hasn't got to fill up that great big reservoir. You've kept it back as it would have been. I need to top up the reservoir, admittedly, yeah, but it won't take up as much fluid as, or it wouldn't draw air in from the top, I should say. I'll get there in the end, don't I? Oh, okay, that's that. That's ready to go back on the bike. I did the son of a... I would say replace these every time, because that corrosion on there, I've cleaned it up with the wire wheel, but that will corrode so quickly. It's unbelievable. I will put a bit of grease on it, just a smidge of grease, just to keep the rust at bay. But I mean, we're going to get more colder weather in the UK here between now and spring, so we are going to have more salt on the roads. It's really not worth fannying around too much. I'll put new ones back in the summer when I strip these down to give them a coat of paint. Hockey docky. Right, I actually could get these pads in, couldn't I? Kinda. Let's do the right thing. Let's put this on there. Okay, that's just gonna wriggle that into there. Yeah. Okay, let's bring that back out of there. Let's bring it back out. There. That's all lovely and jubbly. That's it. Put that spring retaining clip back in and keep it on that, because if it jumps out somewhere and you don't hear it hit the floor, you're going to put this back in your bike. My brakes aren't working right. Anyway, right, I need to change my gloves, which is going to hurt, so I'm going to not do that, and I'm just going to try and dry my phalanges, and then take the new brake pads out of their home and pop them in. Right, let's just give this a bit of a dust off, because there's a bit of brake fluid in there and the like. Just dry everything up. Okay, so let me hold it with that hand. There we have it. So this slider sort of Slides in and out all nice and nicely. Look. Doesn't need any assistance from me. Okay, right, let's put the pads in. Yeah, oh, for fun, look. You stupid boy, stupid. I don't believe it. I know, that's got to be a... one of them. I'm going to get told off in a minute. Can't help it. Brew. Me brew. Yeselectrical.co.uk.com. I've got to do my hand again now, look, because I'm all covered in paraffin again. Stupid boy. 3 steps forward, 4 back. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Okay, I am reasonably dry of contaminants. Here are my gold pads. They're not sintered. They're mine. Okie dokie. So we sit pads in place in that front part there. And we sit that Mr. Paddy Paddy in the back there in the groove like so. And we get Mr. Pin, where have I put it? Oh, fuck's sake, it's right under my nose. Oh, bit of grease. Suit you, madam. Just a trace, because the pads actually slide along here a tiny bit every time you put your brake on. Or they were supposed to slide along there. Okay, there's that. Ow, I don't want to do that. No. Don't wanna. Go on then, Mr. Pin, and you go, right, that's that. Okay, that is now ready for reassembly onto the bike. Both pads are in, the pins in to retain the pads at the back there, and at the front they sort of sit into a shoe so they can't fall out. Okay, so I need to whiz that in a minute. And then put the little, I've got a little tiny screw cap which goes over the end of this part of the caliper, just to stop any, salt and crud getting in there, so you cannot undo that next time you come to service the bike. Cheers all. Right, 2 copper seals, let's do it. Gripped. Right, out by the bike. All I've done basically is pop the caliper on, copper slip grease the bolts and put them back in there, and fit the banjo and the bolt with the tuning washers is there. Now I haven't started to pump anything because in here obviously the fluid has gone down. Flipping hand. Rah. There you see. Now I'm going to examine this. It's a bit dark, but I can't see any water in the bottom there. Now the reason I say that is because the top lid came off beautifully. Normally these screws seize and round off, don't they, boys? But they came out beautifully, so I know that someone's been paying some sort of attention there with some grease. There's the cap there, which goes onto there, which goes in there. And when I took this cap off and that white piece off, this was full of water. So I cleaned it out with this very absorbent towel, as you can see. And I thought to myself, why is there water in there? And has it gotten into there? But it hasn't, so that's great news. So I'm going to give that a good scrub-a-dub-dub in a minute with some blue absorbent paper. Right, so let's just top this up before we start pumping. Like so. Here's my dot 4. Let's get it up near the top. Like so. Oh, that's a bit much, mister. That is a bit much. See what I did with the old paper here, the old absorbent towels? Just tore a little hole in it, sunk it round there. Right, let's loosen off the bleed nipple. Make sure that there's plenty of absorbent stuff on the floor there that doesn't blow away. Hello, Quality. How you doing? Yeah, how you doing, my boy? You come to examine everything? Okay, yeah, you're really helpful, stood there. Come on, out of the way. Come on, go. Go, go. Go on, back, reverse. Yes, I know. Oh, yeah, he's a lovely boy. Yes, he is. Come on, out of the way. We've got work to do. Go. Good boy. Go and chase that thing out the garden. So we'll pop that on there. We'll just loosen that off a little bit. So when I pull the brake lever up there, it pushes the fluid down and the air out to there. Then we nip that back up. When the air's finished and we've got fluid coming out, then we pump up top there, and the pistons will come out and they will centralise the pads on the disc, and that will be job done. Okay, so let's put that there, put a bit of weight on it so it doesn't blow around everywhere. So that's undone. Let's give it a bit of a pump on the old controller. Keep our eye on this. We have fluid coming out, as you can see. Right, let's just nip that back up like so. Now the thing is, these are linked brakes, so I wasn't sure, because when I was trying to because I had to ride to work on this thing, I did it for a couple of days with the pads locked on, so I had to really work this, and it came to a point where when I was going along, because they're linked brakes, it doesn't matter if you don't use the front and you just use the back, because it still puts the front brakes on with the rear lever. So I was quite kind of catch-22 there. I was damned if I do and damned if I don't. So what I ended up doing was using the front brake lever, because it kind of freed up the front wheel for a second. But when I had to brake heavily just to try and free him up some more, all I was getting was this lever was sort of clicking, which means says to me that there is fluid getting past the non-return valve in there. So I have the repair kit right there. I thought of everything. I thought of everything. So yeah. Right, I'm going to bleed this now. Pull the lever in, eject some fluid there. Pull the lever in, eject some fluid, and that level should go down in there enough for me to put the cap back on and then start again all over on the other side. Okay, that's the beauty of using one of these clamps. You don't get the air back in the system. It is what it is. Right, gold dust these things. Get yourself one. Okay, let's crack on. Alright fella. Right, there we go. That's in. I've just got to put the ABS sensor in and do that up. We're all done again this side. And it's got the nice gold coloured caps on there. It's all bled through. Colin's done the bleeding basically. Bless her. Right, and I thought as we're here, let's get rid of these horrible great big grandad levers and let's pop something a bit more gold in there. Like so. Right, let's crack on. What am I looking for? 8mm. I've undone the 10mm nut which is under there. Just got to whiz this out like so, like so, and this should just pop out, and there it is. I can go back in the spares drawer. Let's get the new lever in place. There we go. Right, let's put a little bit of copper on there, shall we? Give it a bit of finger blasting. Come on, focus, you bugger. Right, and let's pop that. Let's pop that back in there, like so. Wherever it is, there it is. I'm just going to wipe my finger because it's got all sort of sludge on it. Right, let's just wang that back in there. Okay, let's wipe the gutter gunge off of there. What I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to leave that. That's better. Adjustable. Look. That's cool. I'm going to leave that pulled in just for this evening and let all the air, if there's any in there, just work its way back up through and out of here. Okay, that's pretty cool. And the front wheel spins without any it's not stuck basically, so that's really good. This, I've put a bit of copper grease on the either side, on the underside of these two screws. I cleaned up that rubber part with some blue paper towel and put it all back together, topping it up so everything is okay. See a bit of air in there? That's probably come from me doing that, but there we go. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to pop the other one on the other side, and we're all Burgmaned up. Light is failing, hand is sore, but there we go, job done. That front two calipers, got the brand new pots and seals in, and new boots and all the rest of it, so that's good for another however long it takes. I do need to take them back off again this summer because I do need to repaint them, as I'm going to be repainting the front wheel, and I'm also going to be changing the front wheel bearings and seals, rear wheel bearing and seals, headstock bearing and seals. So there's still plenty to do. We've got plenty to keep me occupied as long as Mr. Finger complies. It doesn't give me too much grief. Okay, right, I'm going to pop that other lever on. Onto the side. Whilst I'm here, I need to put that 10mm nut on underneath this before I forget. And then put that ABS sensor in. Do those two 8mm nuts up, bolts up. And we're good to go. Well, thank you for watching, guys. I think that's going to be it for today. Yeah, like I say, if you got any of you guys are suffering from the old sticky finger situation, yeah, my sympathies, because that isn't nice. That is proper hurty. Carpal tunnel, but that's a different thing, but it sort of affects your fingers as well, because in your wrist you've got like a hole in the middle, or an oval in your bone structure where all your tendons and that go through, and your nerves and everything else in safely, and that can wear. So, and how they test that is to put electrodes on your elbow, and then they put the other end of the circuit on the end of your fingertips and turn the voltage up until you hit the roof. And they can tell by how much screaming you do how easy it is for the current to flow through. Blah blah blah. I'm not a doctor. Anyway, that is it. Thank you for watching. And any of you Burgman guys out there want to say hi, drop me a comment below. And yeah, I'll be getting on with the NH80 again. Oh, the rollers are in for the variator. They've turned up. So that's it. That really needs to get put back together. But docks first to sort my little metatarsal out. Or is it metacarpal? One's toes, one's fingers. I can't remember. Right, that's going to do it. Take care of yourself, guys. Seriously. And be good to each other. Cheers. Bye-bye.